Reading is powerful because it lets one human mind travel beyond its own life. Imagine a student sitting at a kitchen table with a book open in front of them. The room is ordinary. There is a chair, a light, maybe a half-finished glass of water. But in the student's mind, something much larger is happening. They might be standing inside ancient Rome, listening to a scientist explain gravity, or following a character who has to make a difficult choice. Nothing in the room has moved, yet the student's world has grown. That is the first power of reading. It carries knowledge across distance and time. A person can learn from someone they have never met, from a place they have never visited, or from a century they could never live in. Before writing and reading, knowledge had to be remembered and spoken. Stories, laws, recipes, warnings, and discoveries could disappear if people forgot them. Reading made human memory bigger than any one brain. Reading also trains the mind to slow down. When we listen to speech, the words keep moving. When we watch a video, images can rush past us. But on a page, we can pause. We can reread a sentence. We can ask, what does this mean? That pause matters. It gives the brain time to connect ideas, notice patterns, and test whether something makes sense. This is why reading is closely connected to learning. A person who reads well can teach themselves many things. They can follow instructions, compare explanations, study evidence, and build new skills. Reading does not replace teachers, but it gives students a way to keep learning when no teacher is in the room. Reading is powerful in another way. It builds imagination. This does not only mean fantasy or made-up worlds. It means the ability to picture possibilities. When we read about someone else's life, we practice seeing through another person's eyes. We may meet people who are different from us in age, culture, history, or belief. We may not agree with them, but we learn that the world can look different from another mind. That practice can build empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand what someone else may feel or experience. A story can place us close to fear, hope, shame, courage, or grief without putting us in actual danger. Over time, reading can make human life feel less narrow. It reminds us that other people have inner worlds as real as our own. Reading also gives people power in society. Laws, contracts, medical instructions, ballots, news reports, school assignments, and job applications all depend on written language. A person who cannot read is easier to mislead or exclude. A person who reads carefully has a better chance of understanding their rights, asking better questions, and making informed choices. But reading is not powerful because every written thing is true. In fact, reading well means learning to judge. A strong reader asks who wrote something, why it was written, what evidence supports it, and what may be missing. Reading opens doors, but critical reading helps us choose which doors are worth walking through. The power of reading is not magic. It is built from simple actions, noticing words, connecting meanings, holding ideas in memory, and comparing them with what we already know. But those simple actions add up. They allow a child to learn from a scientist, a citizen to understand a law, a worker to master a skill, and a lonely person to find a voice that seems to understand them. So reading is powerful because it expands memory, strengthens thinking, builds imagination, and protects independence. It lets us borrow the experiences of others and add them to our own. A book is only paper, ink, or pixels. But when someone reads it with attention, it becomes a bridge between minds.